Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Let's head into collectively rewilding. I guess I should say, I hope you all had a wonderful day as it's definitely winding down. All right, so oops, sorry that I had to postpone earlier. I had so much going on and there were different things with LH2 and then my allergies all at the same time. And I was just like, nope, I can't do it. Too much. And so my allergies, that's what you can see in my eyes, they get all puffy. So it's not very much fun, but they're better than they were this morning at least. And so, how is everybody doing on their quitting journey?
That's a process of progress, I should say.
Very good. And you really didn't smoke that, well, vape that much. Is that right?
Not really.
Mm-hmm. And you've cut it back a little bit, so still from where you were?
hmm
That's wonderful. And are you liking it? Is it a struggle?
Uh, I mean, it's all right.
Yeah. Do you really notice it very much, or
Not
does
too
it really
much.
work? Like you have to like, okay, no, I'm gonna wait longer. I'm gonna wait longer. Anything like that?
I don't even think it's like a mental process. It's more uh, because when I started substitute teaching, like I'm not
You're busy.
that busy. Like I don't even really eat that much because I'm so busy now. So it's just like I gotta remind myself to eat.
I hear that.
Like my stomach is shrunk, and it's
And I
like
don't think you were a super big guy to begin with, right? Like I don't think you had a big old belly or anything. You didn't look like it in your pictures or your video, I should say, right?
you know, some people like it. Some people it's just not a 13 pack, I guess.
Oh, no, I mean like you were in a heavy man, you know?
Oh,
So you gotta
I
watch it if you start losing weight too much.
I was like 225, but like now I'm like 210, 250.
Okay. So you're probably, you know what, these videos, they give such a skewed perspective of each other, right? I met my SBDC mentor finally in person the other day. I think I mentioned it to you guys. And he was so tall and he had a big belly, right? So I was not expecting that at all. I thought he was more like 5'10", and I think he's taller than my husband. And so, yeah. So,
Yeah,
um,
10 is
is
top.
are you happy with where you're at with that? Is that because that's something I'm a little bit worried about, right? When you quit smoking, you're supposed to gain 10 pounds, and I don't really want to gain 10 pounds.
Oh, I mean, nah, I'm not worried about that.
You're just good where you're at, one way or the other, a little bit more, a little bit less isn't a bad thing for you.
Yeah, I've learned to love myself.
Exactly, right? But I still don't want to gain 10 pounds. I still don't want to. And how about you, Vanessa? How are you doing with your journey?
Um, I finished the puffy airs. My husband said that he can tell, like when he's smoking it, like when it's almost ending, that the flavor changes. I'm thinking because maybe the oils are running out or
Yeah,
something.
it blinks too. When it's completely done, the LED light, it blinks.
Yeah,
So I've finished the two individuals that we got, right? When we started out, we got the 2-pack for each of us with the lung cleanser and the energy diffuser. And I finished both of those. And then I finished the lung and sleep one in my 4-pack that I got. And I have now just got the ones that are the energy diffuser and the liver cleanser left. So
what
yeah,
was it? Brand? The other brand, like puffy air.
Boom.
Is it?
The
What?
other brand is Boom, Fum, but we didn't like them. They didn't. You know what? Give me just 1 second. You guys talk to each other, and I'll run and go get it, and I'll show you the differences. Okay?
So,
Hi. Hey, what's up?
so is it that you that smoke or is it your husband?
We both smoke, but
Oh,
he's blood, and he's had cancer and his lung removed, and he has COPD. But he's still smoking, but he's trying that tough air. He's on the second one, so
Oh,
mine.
Okay. So I think you just got a 1-pack. Is that right, Vanessa?
One packet had 2 in it.
It had 2 in it. Okay. So this is the 4-pack, right? I love it. I put my flowers all up. I think they're so pretty. This one, when you get 2 of these, it's only $99. I don't know what your cigarettes cost, but this is about comparable to carton, 600 uses, the 4 sticks. It's just around a carton probably. And to get between the 2 of them, I'm not sure. I had it figured out at one point. It might be both packs, but definitely between the 2 packs, it's comparable to a carton of cigarettes. And so this, to get 2 of these, is $99. That's the cheapest way to get these. If you get the 4 packs, then you get 2 of them. And that works for my husband and I, because then we each get our own 4-pack, right? And then he brought me his as well. We got the 2 booms. And it was a dual pack there as well. And you got like the darker one and the lighter one. And I'm guessing that they thought like male, female. That's what we did. Jake got the darker one. I got the lighter one. And they, let me figure out, we have it. Okay, that's right. So when you open it, you just kind of, it's got like a magnetic container. And you take it out, right? And you can fidget with it. It's like a fidget spinner. And it opens when you fidget. Let me get this the right angle here. It opens and closes. See that? And so when you're smoking, that lets you determine how much of an airflow you're going to get, how strong the flavor is. And it's also just for people that like to fidget. And then my husband actually likes to do this because it's magnetic. And so that's another type of like fidgety thing with it. It's also how you change it out. So that's where the little cartridge is. All right. And then you have a bunch of different flavors. These are some of them that we had. Cinnamon hearts, white cranberry, and spearmint ice. And they're okay. They don't light up on the end like the fumes, right? So here's this. I'll get out one of these and show you how different they are. All right. And so you have to put this little mouthpiece on it. And it starts off and it has this little plastic cap so it doesn't get yucky. And you take that plastic cap off and you put your end piece on. And then see, this is all about the same size as a pen or a cigarette. And this is quite a lot fatter. So it doesn't have, for me, that feel. It was heavier and clunky. And I did like, of course, that you could put either of them in your pocket in comparison to a cigarette, right? But then this one, it doesn't light up or anything. This one and it doesn't have any vapor. So if I take it's fully open, so it's a full flavor. And I taste cinnamon, right? But there's no light and there's no exhalation. Then when you use the puffy airs, it lights up. And there's an exhalation of vapor that you can see. I'll try to get it like a little bit better on camera. Right? So you can see, and it's not smoke, it's vapor. But for me, that really is so much more satisfying, as well as the size. Even though I don't hold it like a cigarette, I hold it more like a pen because it has that feel. It's still more comforting to my hand. It's still a more familiar feel, and it's much more satisfying. I canceled our Fume subscription. So, and it's at least as pricey, nearly as pricey or more pricey when it comes down to it than these. I'm not sure. We really didn't utilize, we really didn't utilize the Fume. Like we got one whole package, right? Like buy in bulk and you get it a little bit cheaper again. And so I don't know, it was like 12 different packages of 3 packs that were different flavors. And we've only even opened the original pack that they each came with and the cinnamon.
Is it hard to change?
What's that?
The plume hard to change out?
No, not at all. You just open it up, and then you have to pop the little core that holds the, I'm guessing essential oil. They don't market it like that, but whatever their flavoring is, just pops right out, pop a new one right in, like that.
And those are more expensive than the puffy air?
They were at least really comparable. We can go and take a quick look. Let me just put this away really quickly.
The puppies air for me, they're not lasting long, I guess, because
well, what I do is I'm trying to still lengthen it out, right? And so between smoking a little bit less just in general time wise, like stepping out, let's say stepping out less in general, and then replacing several of the cigarettes a day with the puffy airs. I used to smoke a pack a day, and now I'm making it last 36 hours up to my best day was a 48 hour, or I think it was actually like 49 hours, right? One hour over 2 days. And so I'm still smoking with the cigarettes as well, but with the puffy airs, I time myself, right? Because it doesn't have that end point like a cigarette does. So we cut back from using longs to shorts, right? From 100s to regulars. And I only puff off of the puffy air for 5 minutes. I time it, right? I have my watch on and I time it, and I only sit there and I only smoke on it for 5 minutes. And then on top of that, like when I'm out there and I'm smoking a cigarette, I might talk to my husband, I might talk to the dog, I might just pause for a second and look at the sky. You know, there's moments when I'm not just puffing on that cigarette. And so I make sure to do that when I'm also doing the puffy air, so that I'm trying to balance it out and keep it as comparable to replacing that time and interaction amount that you would with a cigarette. And I would guess that that probably helps to make it last a little bit longer. Also, you're only supposed to breathe in on them for like a couple of seconds. And at first I thought I wasn't, but when you actually do it, it's the same as a cigarette. If you're not doing something weird, or like every once in a while, of course, you just like, and you know, you take an extra long drag or whatever, but you know, most of the time it's about 2 seconds to take a normal puff off of a cigarette. So you don't want to take a longer puff than that off of your puffy air. So I don't know if any of those strategies would help you at all.
maybe not. Because I usually puffed it, the little light came on, and then I puffed it until the light went out.
Oh no, you don't want to do that because you use it all up, right? You want to time it like a cigarette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a perspective.
What's that? I'm sorry, Kendall.
I said that's a good perspective. You kind of reminded me of the interaction I had with my cousin, because I never got the philosophy behind buying shorter cigarettes, and they always bought shorts. But he wanted me to buy some cigarettes for him, so I went and I got him the long. They was getting on me. That was like, why you get the long one? That's like my whole counsel. I'm like, dude, you smoking cigarettes.
Well, I do believe that there's more tobacco at the end of them. I think that they weigh more. I've never actually checked. I think they cost about the same amount. I don't think it's changed from getting the longer ones to the shorter ones, but there is more tobacco there, I believe. And so if you smoke the shorter, it's just that it's that much less tobacco than you would have inhaled off of a longer one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get the psychologist. Like I didn't think he was trying to quit. So it's just like, if you're not even trying to quit, why not get the more?
Right. It also takes longer, right? So a short takes me maybe even less than 5 minutes sometimes, whereas a long will at least take me 5 minutes, could take me up to 7 minutes.
Oh wow. So you're a long smoker. I probably smoke a cigarette in like less than 2 minutes. And I'm like on to the next one. Next thing activity.
No, I I don't know. I like to go outside and I like to be outside, right? And so I'm in the moment, and I look at the sky and I feel the wind and I look at what's happening around and I look at the grass and the trees and see what they're doing. And, so it's been a struggle watching the front yard while it's kind of almost dying because of the misuse of the property. But, you find out what's wrong and then you move on, and we would never have done that and we have to correct for it. So still, that's what I'm out there thinking about, right? I'm like thinking about that lawn and I'm just like, oh, those people, I wish I could just give them a talking to, or, probably maybe not quite so polite as that in my head, but looking at the tree thinking, well, I didn't want to keep the tree because it's making it impossible to use 2/3 of the driveway, but it's not fun to watch the tree die. And so I guess I'm more about the moment than the cigarette, really. But it's my time to come out and sit and just be in that moment and feel it. And so I don't know if maybe doing something like that would slow down how much you actually intake, right?
Well, no, I definitely like if I go outside to smoke a cigarette, I use that as like thinking time. I
Well,
just,
maybe look, not just thinking though, right? Because when I do get in my head, that is when I'll smoke it quicker. But looking around at you, you have all of that greenery around. Notice what the birds are doing. I don't like stare at the neighbors or anything, but I'm aware of their patterns. I'm aware of the vehicles that drive by. Look at the people that are walking their dogs. Look at your yard and the neighbor's yard, and look at your vehicle and look at your porch or whatever, and just be in the moment so that you're not just puff, 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 and then ready for another one or moving on to, because the way you said it wasn't quite clear. Like, were you going to start another cigarette, or were you going to keep vaping, or were you going to look for another bad habit, or were you going to go back and do your life? Right.
oh, just go outside, smoke, and then back to whatever I was taking a break from.
Yeah. That's one of the hardest things for me when I would think about just quitting before these puffy airs and things were offered is, no, that's my break. I work all day, right? I get up, I get ready, then I start working, and then I'm working until I get ready to go to bed. And so those are my breaks. So having that puffy air is very, it's like a security blanket, right? And you get to still have that pattern. And of course, I don't want to keep paying $99 for 2 packs of these every time we're running out for my husband and I for the rest of our lives. Eventually, you would try to quit. And so some of the things that we've talked about there, because we're both really busy. And so some of our time together is the time that we go out and smoke. And I'm like, well, babe, we could just do things like I could read to you from some of my books, right? Because I always tell him about different things that happen in the books. And I'm like, I could just read to you and we could just talk about that and just sit out there for like 5 minutes or something, or whatever, just different things like that. You want to find some sort of regular kind of pattern that will replace it, but that is positive. And so we do like to go outside, and we want to have that moment where we just stop for a minute and go with each other out to the front or the backyard or the garage if the weather is just too inclement, if it's too much, like last night where it was blowing the raindrops up onto the porch. So those are the types of things that will help us to stay stronger while we're trying to cut back, right? Just finding those little patterns.
That's cool.
Does that feel like it would help you at all to go out and try to look at, there's the pictures that you've shown, there's so much greenery around where you are, right? There's tons of activity, I'm sure, from birds and little mammals, and who knows what kind of life there are from the insects and maybe lizards, or plus all the activity that people have, and just looking at the plants. And does that something that would maybe slow down the rapidity of your puffing?
I don't know. I have to try it.
Well, definitely, you should. And one of my favorite things, guys, is to look at the sky. I love, love, love looking at the sky. If you don't spend a lot of time looking at the clouds or the different things that happen going on in the sky, you see the big predator birds flying around, the big flocks of birds, or the changing of the weather as it's rolling in, and all of these different things that you can see in the sky just in the day, much less with the nighttime coming on. And take a moment and appreciate your skies, because it's one of the most ephemeral and yet constant outdoor presence that we all have. And our skies really are quite different. All the different places that I've moved over the Western United States, each sky has its own character, has its own color scheme. Not every sky has all the same colors. So go out and take a moment and look at what the colors are in your sky, what the cloud formations are, how fast they're moving, all of these different things, if that's not something that you've participated in, and make that a part of creating a better pattern, right? Finding something that you enjoy doing that you can replace the bad patterns with an enjoyable, fun, pleasant pattern.
Well, I definitely do that when I go out on a walk, like look at the sky and more being more immersed in the moment while I'm walking.
Absolutely. Yeah. I had meant to talk to you guys about doing that. The quit line, right? 1-800-QUIT now, I think. There are actually different resources within that. And I wasn't very impressed by the service. They were supposed to send texts and emails. I believe I told you guys I never saw any of them. I guess I could have checked in my spam. You would think that would be one that Google would have recognized wasn't a spam email. Anyway, they didn't send texts either, and I had allowed for both. But they walk you through a bunch of different things, like making a list for yourself of the different activities that you could do instead of smoking a cigarette, instead of drinking a beer, instead of whatever it was, right? We can modify it for our own purposes. And so let's try to do that next week. I apologize for that, guys. I just wanted to hear where you all were, and that's an important part of it too, right? So let's check out our calendar. All right, so tomorrow we have how-tos for community outreach. It could be Wendy, could be Candace, could be Tammy, could be my own. We'll just roll with it and see who shows up ready to go with their projects tomorrow. All right, so how-tos for community outreach tomorrow, and that will be at 1:45 p.m. Pacific, 2:45 p.m. Mountain, 3:45 p.m. Central, and 4:45 p.m. Eastern. All right, everybody, please feel free to unmute your mics and say goodnight.
Well, it's over already?
It is, it's just a half an hour. So we have a class coming up in LH2 for the weekly job career success call.
Oh, okay.
Got to get over there and get that started up. And so, okay, so when you say that, that lets me know that maybe we should not cut this class into 2 with 15, but I actually do want to maybe have like 2 things that we do throughout the week to check in with each other. And so perhaps I'll leave this one as it is as the 30-minute, but our other check-in will probably just have it be like a little 15-minute pop in, say, hey, how are we doing, where we're at, and let's keep going with this. I'm just testing out different things. I'd also like to see if we get some interaction from some of the people that are kind of watching but not really participating, right? Trying different things. Maybe they're intimidated by a half an hour or an hour long interaction, and they might show up for a 15-minute interaction, right? So just testing out some new things. And also, we're all so busy. I don't want to just overload us and just a 15-minute, oh no, I'm really struggling. I'm so glad we're here, guys. Help me. I haven't done well the last couple of days. Or, oh no, I'm kind of doing about the same as I was last week. Not worse, not better, but I got to keep pushing forward. I've reached a plateau. Or, oh my gosh, I'm doing great, right? Whatever the case may be, having that moment to just check in and get that support and encouragement, I think a couple times a week would be really good for if any of us are serious at all, right? And it doesn't mean that you have to attend things to commit to something and be serious, but being there for those who are really wanting to do this and being serious with it, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that 15 minutes sounds good. It's just that it's so full of wisdom that's like, whoa, am I going to miss out on the next
Well,
drink?
and they're quick, right, too. So you have to be a little bit more on time and things like that, right? So I'm not sure. I'm playing with it in my head as well. And we'll play with it, and we can easily change time on an event. We can't change the day, but we can make them longer or shorter. We can put them at different hours if they don't work for us and things like that, right?
Mhm.
All right, guys. Well, definitely have a wonderful night. I know Benny isn't going to unmute, but I hope you have a wonderful night, Benny, Vanessa, and Kendez. Thank you guys for showing up at the postponed Let's Quit Together. And I am hoping that maybe you find something that works a little bit better for you, Vanessa, and glad to hear where you are, Kendez. And you know what? We should just check in really quick. But oh, don't worry about getting here late, Benny. We're always just glad to see you here. And it doesn't look like you put in there how you're doing, Mr. Benny. How is your quitting journey going? You're still struggling? All right, well, let's just keep pushing for it, right? We'll get there. And next week, let's work on some strategies to help, especially where Benny isn't talking to us and getting to share his journey. Let's work on some strategies to help both Benny and Vanessa and all of us to move forward. Glad to hear you're doing well, Kendez. We're really utilizing that puffy air, but then I can go and I can get that. And that's not always something that you can just go and do, right? So find some other strategies to help you guys get further to where you want to be. All right, everybody. Hope to see you tomorrow. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye, guys.